Gonna back him up 5. Back
Little hiccup there. Penalty. This has got to be hard for the Bears to believe after dominating most of this game. They are less than 20 seconds away from being upset by the Gulls, and the Gulls will win. I think this would be their fifth straight. Hey, there he is. I just feel like I'm not crazy, just talking to myself the whole time.
Pretty much are. Don't worry about that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, look at as I was saying. I mean, what a stunning turn of events with the Gulls coming back 2 times, and the second being that Shanley touchdown with 26 seconds or something remaining. The Bears have about a mile to go to have a chance to tie this game, and I don't know. I don't know what's in the playbook for Alec Coleman and company.
By the way, you want to see that touch again?
Yeah, why not? Well, I think they're...
After this play.
Yep.
16 seconds left.
Actually, it looks like somebody else is in. Now they're doing the... I think this one is almost over, Frank. And this is going to be the last play of the game, I believe. And we're trying to do the old hook and ladder, and when that starts happening on the 20-yard line or the 40, whatever this is, it's no magic, and the Gulls are going to win. What a comeback.
Wow.
An amazing comeback for Coach McGonigal and this Gulls team. They just figured, man, huge, kind of an upset, Frank, you have to say, but pretty amazing. Down 17-0 in the first quarter, winning it 41-38.
That's the best win that Endicott has had in the last probably 5 or so. 41-38, upsetting.
JB, they were up 17-0. And obviously it fell apart on them, and West New England will have to do some real soul searching as to what happened there exactly.
Yeah, that's a tough loss to stomach, but another close call was the Stevenson hanging on 33-32
of 36-14.
We missed kind of the exciting conclusion of that because it came down to
for Misericordia. With 10:46
close call there at the end, but
in this football game.
Give Lyco some credit, but came up a little bit short on that one. All right. Oh, it looks like Misericordia is starting to pull away. The Trinity Amherst game is getting interesting. They're in the fourth quarter.
Into the red zone. Knocked out of bounds at the 18-yard line. Matt McCarthy in coverage, but Bo Berluti has been open all day long, and he has been a pest. It's another first down for Amherst. Actually, they mark him down at the 19-yard line, so a gain of 10 on that one. Okoronkwo in the backfield, in the pistol, next to Eberth. O'Regan by himself on the near side. It's a keeper for Eberth and McDonald again. I don't think Eberth wants to see Ian McDonald anymore. Another big hit delivered by the Bantams quarterback out of Avon, Connecticut. McDonald, whose brother Don Jr. played football here at Trinity College.
5 touchdowns for Kowalski in that game.
At West Point.
Amazing play by the junior quarterback.
On that carry. 2nd and 9. With 8:45 to go.
8:45.
This game back up. Berluti in motion. Hand off to Okoronkwo, and he'll spin. A good job to get what little was there. Marked down at the 16-yard line. He picked up 2. Was hit right at the line of scrimmage. So it's now a 3rd and 7.
All right. Looks like Frostburg's taking care of business, up 43-6. 4th down. It's looking like is this a punting situation? What's going on here? Nope, timeout. Well, under 8 minutes to go. Maybe the down and distance marker could be off there. Frostburg looking good to improve to 8-0. Most likely will maintain the number 2 spot in the regional rankings, barring an upset. And certainly Brockport not dominating Cortland, the team that lost to Alfred, which Brockport beat 52-0. So a bit of a head scratcher there. The Golden Eagles have just seemed off in these last couple weeks, and I'm not quite sure what's going on there. Here's a replay of the Kowalski touchdown to Shanley, the pride of Simsbury, Connecticut, and a huge comeback. 5th passing touchdown for Kowalski on the day. Pretty impressive. We were kind of surprised by them when they beat Hobart early in the season, 27-24, and they've rattled off 5 straight wins since that one, including that one rather. They're 7-2. And in the driver's seat for the CCC title. Here we go. Misericordia trying to keep the Lions winless on the season. Up 22 with under 10 minutes to go. Looking pretty good. We'll be curious to see if at 8-1, if they can squeak into the rankings or not. Strength of schedule will not be on their side, though, with Albright.
Receivers to both sides. Dogbutt to the right of LaHaye. LaHaye steps back, looking left, fires a dart.
So it looks like Amherst came away with a field goal on that last possession. So they trail by 4 with about 8 minutes remaining in this one. Sun is out in Hartford. It looks like a beautiful fall day there. Wind appears to have died down a bit too.
JB, for those that weren't with us during the Wesley attempt to take this game to overtime earlier, the Salisbury game, why don't we go back to that clip in a second here, and you'll see. Quick Burrows, back to pass here, looking flushed. And then throws a fade to the left side. Looked like it was going to be picked, but tremendous job there for the touchdown.
Yeah, great catch by the receiver. Especially, Burrows really struggled that game, and he just kept fighting back. You have to give him a lot of credit for the resiliency to keep in there, even after all the struggles that he had. And so now, if you're Trinity, you're probably going to Max Chaporis to run the ball and grind the clock out, but getting pushed out of bounds isn't going to help. So Trinity needs to probably keep things going, but also keep the clock moving as they hang on to a 4-point lead. There's another run up the middle. Coming up. It looks like the delay in the King Frostburg game is an injury on the field, but the player seems to be up and is moving about, so I'm not sure what the issue is there, but 7:42 to go on that one. Frostburg up ahead by a comfortable lead, and now it looks like Albright celebrating a score. So they're not actually out of it just yet either. And the down and distance marker was off, so it is a 1st and 10 coming up for the Cougars, not 4th down. Okay. And it looks like the Trinity drive is going to stall after this incomplete pass, and the Bantams are going to have to punt it away. Nice play there by the Cougars to get the ball out past the 40-yard line. Imagine this is Coach Fitz has probably got some of his second, third stringers out there at this point, just trying to get this game into the books as a win number 8. Trinity punts it, and looks like Amherst will fair catch the ball around the 42. Pretty short field to work with. They're only down 4. Looks like we have a timeout as the change of possession happens in Pennsylvania. Albright now trails by 2 touchdowns with 8:34 left.
Well, Kane almost lost the ball right there, but Frostberg couldn't get to it in time.
Yep.
So, JB, we're going to have a couple games here left. It looks like Misericordia with 8 minutes left to try to seal the deal. What's the time left in the Trinity game?
The last score update I heard was that there's about 7 minutes and counting in that one.
And Frostberg Kane will probably be done before you know it after this possession, especially.
Yep.
Surprised at all about that Cortland score?
Yeah, I was kind of expecting Cortland to come out and really sort of take it to the Dragons based on the fact that they blew out Alfred, but it does seem like these last couple weeks that this ultra dominant Brockport team is kind of lost a little bit of their swagger or something. Maybe it's injuries, maybe it's just a number of different factors, but they are not plowing through teams. I mean, maybe they are with statistics, but the scoring has dropped off, and But to be fair, that one touchdown that they allowed was a block punt return for a touchdown, and so it's still kind of pitching a shutout. They gave up the field goal, not necessarily a bad job by them, but the offense needs to put up some more points to be honest. Looks like the Mammoth drive is going to stall, so they will be punting away back to the Bantams. Takes a pretty good Mammoth bounce there, rolling into around the 10-yard line for Trinity. So they got a little ways to go.
Let's take a look at some scores from throughout the East region here. We have Endicott in that stunning come-from-behind victory, 41-38. Becker beats the University of New England, gets off the schneid, does Becker, 31-17. And Salve Regina, 47, Nichols, 14.
What's going on in the Del Val Kings game, Frank? Did they go to a final there?
I believe they probably did. Let's look here quickly, though, that Husson has punched their ticket. They beat Gallaudet 63-2. Dean with the win over Castleton 19-17. Alfred State trying to beat Anna Maria. That game's going to keep going here for a little bit. Looks like it's 30-28. And Hampton, a Division I FCS team, beating up on SUNY Maritime 44-3. As for the MAC, I will pull that up right now for you. In the meantime, though, it looks like Misericordia is knocking on the door again in the bottom left portion of your screen. Let's hold on and see if we can see this one before we go to the next scoreboard, which is the max scoreboard, actually. Looking for a little opinion from the sideline on what to do. Yeah, it's going to be a handoff. Not quite there, but still second and goal. Oop. Here's where we want to go. You wanted to know about the Del Val game. Looks like 49-0, just about completed. Stevenson, as you pointed out, had a hold on against Lycoming, 33-32. The Misericordia score is obviously old here, and we haven't got a Lev-Val Alvernia update. Let's see if we can just pop into the live stats ourselves and get that. And it is 55-7 in favor of Lebanon Valley. Excuse me, I was going to say Alvernia is struggling again today. They haven't won since that opening game of their entire program, basically.
Yeah.
Let's go to the new MAC. In a moment. And you can see that it is MIT blanking Norwich 20-0. Merchant Marine staying in that position, it looks like, to have a possible Pool B berth, 44-10 over Catholic. Springfield 44, Maine Maritime 7, and Coast Guard 24, WPI 10.
Wow.
Coast Guard trying to make a statement before the big Secretaries Cup game.
Yeah, they sure are. I mean, they're definitely improved. I think that was their 6th win of the season, and they beat a pretty good WPI team that upset MIT from the week before. So, kind of a surprise there to a certain extent. But don't punch the Mariners' ticket to the playoffs just yet. They're going to have to beat a very tough Coast Guard team next week. And it looks like Frostburg has added another touchdown, so now they're up. Looks like it's a 49-6 with
50.
Under 2 minutes to go. 50-6. Still, they're putting up the points. I think this is what we were trying to say with Brockport. We were expecting to see those kind of scores, but obviously Cortland's a bit of a tougher challenge than Kane.
Misericordia looking to punch this in, 4th and goal. They're going to actually kick it now, they decided, because a 17-point game would be 3 possessions and would put the game away.
Yeah, pretty much this would do it. And a flag. Looks like a delay a game maybe, or... Yep.
Well, while they sort that out, the MASCAC scores, there's one big one still to come tonight. That's Framingham State at Western Connecticut at 5 o'clock. Don't forget to watch that game. Plymouth State beat Fitchburg State 28-0. Bridgewater State 32, Worcester State 13. And Mass Dartmouth 20, Mass Maritime 0. Let's go back to that field goal.
A little further out, but doesn't look too windy there, so I think he's got it. It's up. And it's good. So yeah, pretty much with a 3 possession.
Looks like we're getting ready to kick off in the Brockport game, which is having the same problems we were having with the Salisbury game on my end. Same thing for you?
Pretty much. That seems to be the story of the day. A lot of these top games getting a lot of hits and slowing things down a bit.
Look at the upper left.
Ooh, touchdown Trinity. They're celebrating at the coop. That's a big and they're getting the flag for the celebration. But given the amount of time left in that one, that looks like Trinity's basically won the game to a certain extent, up 26-16 with a point pending. Big play there, and they will at least have a share of the NESCAC title. If you're a Bantams fan, you're going to be on the East bandwagon. So for the biggest littlest rivalry between Amherst and Williams, if Williams can beat Amherst next week, then Trinity wins the NESCAC outright.
We were saying for a while there after that Williams win against them that they were looking like almost they were controlling their own destiny and knowing it, the way they were bouncing back. And Amherst had the back end of their schedule as the toughest end of the schedule. And you had said that you didn't trust in Amherst to be able to win out with that schedule remaining. Tufts, Trinity, Williams, basically. And here it's proving true.
All right, I got something for you, Frank. Our buddy Chad Hammonds down in Texas has asked, how will Wesley versus Salisbury affect rankings and playoffs, if any?
Well, Wesley could become ranked, technically.
Yeah.
3 1-point losses, 2 against probable teams that will be ranked, because I think Montclair goes on the board at this point.
Yeah, we sort of lost track of their game because they were taking it to Rowan. They were up like 21-0 early on, but we haven't peeked in on that one to see what happened there. It might be worth just making sure we didn't hit the snooze button on something that was pretty exciting. Oh boy, it looks like a big return there in the Brockport game.
Yeah, I'm looking for the Montclair score right now. And it's 28-14 Montclair as the Frostburg's game has ended. We'll probably go there for a second, see if there's any sign of a comeback possibility for Rowan.
Right. Well, Albright's hanging in there, I guess, but this one pretty much wrapped up. 3rd and 1 here.
Here is our MSU Rowan game. And you can see it looks like Montclair is trying to run this clock out with a run, stay in bounds, so if you're smart in that situation.
Yeah, I would think the Wesley win would help Montclair. But it's hard to say. They definitely are on the outside looking in. Probably the same deal as MIT, unfortunately.
And Cortland driving the ball here a little bit, even though it's moving fits and starts in our video feed. It looks like a fumble and Trinity ball. That game is over.
Yep. I think Trinity's got this one wrapped up. All right. One in the books there.
Southern Virginia beat William Patterson today 8-3 in the NJAC, by the way.
Really?
Yes.
So,
And it was 3-0 for a while in favor of William Patterson. It was 4th quarter. Christopher Newport is leading TCNJ 38-13. I'm curious how late that touchdown for Southern Virginia was. Albright tries a pass into the end zone, incomplete on first down. Also incomplete was Cortland apparently trying to score. Southern Virginia's touchdown was with 1:17 left in a 7-play, 91-yard drive, ultimately. So William Patterson can't get off the snide like Becker did.
Yeah.
Look at Cortland, JB. I mean, they are knocking on the door.
Yeah. Yep, just like around this time last year, Brockport is in trouble. They are not finishing strong. You only hope that if they can somehow squeak out a win today, that they turn things around in the come playoff time. They'll certainly play, teams they should have less of a challenge against, but
In other action in the nation today, St. Thomas, number 7 team in the country, 13-0 trailing Gustavus Adolphus right now. They were shut out in the first half for the first time since the 2011 semifinals at UW.
And look at this. Fisher upsets Alfred. So Alfred drops to 5-4. This was a team that Cortland lost to in week 3. And then Brockport beat 52-0, and now they just lost to Fisher 28-14. I guess my prediction that Alfred would be the Empire 8 representative to the New York State Bowl could be wrong. May end up being the loser of this game today.
Cortland has the ball on the Brockport 3-yard line. Trinity has won it. It's official, 27-16 over Amherst. Let's go to that Rowan game while we try to work out our problems on, well, hold on, it just came back again, but the Cortland situation.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, Montclair's been pretty steady, and the fact that now that Wesley has that win might, that could be enough to push them into the top 10. But we were a little surprised with that they didn't really get any love initially. So we shall see. Yeah, Montclair. I'm surprised. Are they part of the ECAC, Frank, or with Wesley? There's been other NJAC teams that have been associated with them in the past. You'd think that they would look at that option. Well, Frostburg submitted a bid. It looks like Brockport's stretch internet is not working.
Completely fizzled.
Yep.
You would think that stretch internet would have enough capabilities to handle this. The Salisbury
seen
game, I
today.
think, was the same issue, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yep. Not a great day for stretch internet users, I suppose, but yeah, the other services out there like Sidearm haven't exactly been reliable either. It's kind of tends to be touch and go. You'd think in this day and age we'd have better connectivity, but
Unreal.
so I can see from Twitter that Atkins from Cortland scores the first touchdown of the second half, but Brockport blocked the PAT, so it's 16-14 Cortland with 11:24 left in the third quarter.
Was that a rushing touchdown?
Yes.
First of the season against Brockport's defense.
Amazing.
Well, JB, it's looking a little grim for us here because if we can't, well, interestingly enough, I should go over here. Albright has scored.
Oh, yeah.
So it's a 10-point game.
Yep. Well, we've had a pretty good run today. No matter if this is it, then that's okay. We got in a good portion of the action. It would be interesting to be able to stay with the with that Brockport game, but if they're down for the count, we might as well let people try to track down a radio feed or something.
Interesting point, actually.
But yeah, at this point, pretty much all the games that we had on our list are in the books. You had Endicott come back and surprise Western New England. Salve beat Nichols pretty comfortably. RPI had to fight and hang on to beat St. Lawrence 27-20. Hobart lost to Ithaca 10-3. Husson wins huge 62-3. Coast Guard, MIT, and Springfield win from the NUMAC. Thomas More wins to stay in the running for the Pool B race between them and Merchant Marine, who were winners over Catholic in the NUMAC also. We saw Wesley beat Salisbury in OT 19-13. Stevenson hung on 33-32 at Lycoming. Frostburg beat Keene. And now we got Montclair State looking like they're going to put away Rowan. Del Val beats Kings, and Misericordia is about 36 seconds away from winning this one by 10. And then Trinity defeats Amherst 27-16. A lot of games.
No kidding. Curious if I can figure out a way to get the Brockport game otherwise. Cortland back with the ball.
There we go.
Yeah, for long.
I don't think the Eagles are going to have some negative rushing stats, but whoa, what a nice catch there by Segala. That was almost into the end zone for a safety or a touchdown. Bad snap there. Looks a little overcast there, but it certainly doesn't seem to have any wind or rain like we've seen in the last couple of weeks. So I don't see anybody's jackets or pants blowing like crazy in the wind. It looks like it's just a pretty typical early November upstate kind of day there. But Dragons came to play. This is
Sure
the
did.
second time they've led.
Their video did not.
No. Definitely not, unfortunately.
Blitz coming.
Oop.
But not enough for the first down. Oh no, they
It's
stay
gonna be-
incomplete.
There's a stop. That's a big stop for them. And we got the ice cream trucks we're cruising around outside. I have to run out with my $2 and
Final at Albright, Misericordia moves to 8-1, 39-29.
Yep. It'll be curious to see if if any of these if they end up in the same boat as last week with MIT, both with one loss and not even regionally ranked. But I think once again we're seeing the strength of schedule playing a big role in that, and we'll have to see if that stays the same.
This game's still not over.
Wow.
Last year 5-5, the year before that 4-6. He will be 7-2. It's the first time they have been this close to
Well, you
having.
can hear
But
them
it is
saying
now.
that they'll be. Yeah, this is the victory formation. So 7-2 for the first time in a while. I'm gonna check out the. Let's pull up D3 football, and so they were 8-2 back in 2014 and 2011. 10-2 back in 2010. So this is kind of a return to form for Montclair, who had 4-6, 4-6, 5-5 the last 3 seasons. So congratulations to them on their 7th win. And they have William Patterson in week 11. So pretty much, given WP's struggles, they haven't won any games this year. They lost a close one to Southern Virginia today, 8-3, which almost sounds more like a soccer score than football. You have to think that Montclair would finish up 8-2, and in the event that they don't get a look at the NCAAs, you'd hope that they would have some kind of bowl game to play for, but maybe not. As of this point, from what I can tell, it looks like the only NJAC teams that have declared for the ECAC bowl game are Wesley and Frostburg. And with Frostburg's win, they have a pretty good chance of going to the NCAAs next week. So, I don't know, Montclair, think about it.
Montclair State in this one, we'll quickly go through the stats. They put up almost 400 yards of offense.
So this is what it looks like. This is all that's left. And it ain't pretty.
Yep. All right. Well, there's probably a radio broadcast for fans to track it down if they need to. It's kind of one of those D3 days. Well, we had a good run.
No argument there.
So we'll just to kind of recap. I think for the most part we saw kind of what we expected. Although I will have to say the Endicott win was probably the biggest surprise. Not that they won, but the way they did, because they were down by so much, and they came back in such a fashion, particularly late. So let's talk through a couple of quick scenarios, Frank. Here, what happens if
touchdown Brockport? We can see the live stats.
Okay, well, that's good news for Eagles fans. Okay.
I feel like we're the only people in the country right now that know this fact, because nobody can see this thing.
Yeah, right.
But you can see it's still not going to move, unfortunately.
Yep.
So, JB, we're not going to put people through this, but again, we've seen RPI clinch, Husson clinch. We've seen Trinity put themselves in a position to possibly clinch the NESCAC. Misericordia and Del Val both win. Frostburg and Salisbury still in the collision course, but Salisbury loses. And so there's a problem there for Pool C purposes for Salisbury. The question really becomes, if Cortland loses this game and beats Ithaca, who beat Hobart today, does Cortland get a Pool C bid possibility, even at 2 losses? That's something to think about. But Alfred losing today doesn't help that cause there, that's for sure.
That'll hurt their.
What else did we see? MASCAC still to come at 5 o'clock. We had the ECFC we already talked about. NUMAC is still looking like, WPI loses, but Coast Guard wins. Springfield, MIT, Merchant Marine all do win themselves. So we're going to have a big game next week in the Secretary's Cup game. 3-loss Coast Guard versus 1-loss Merchant Marine. I can never remember the 2 teams going into that game with that combined record ever. It's been week 11, not that often.
20 plus years, so you have to,
So that's all we got. We're going to have our normal shows this week. We'll see you folks soon, but we appreciate you joining us here for the Blitzer. It didn't go as smoothly as we had hoped. Unfortunately, we had a little hardware meltdown earlier on, but things happen. We seemed to nail it a little bit later on in the day as we got used to what was going on, and we appreciate you folks joining us here. So again, in the huddle, we'll be back this week with host chat and interviews. Stay tuned.